Hey guys, Redneck Mini 14 here. Today I'm going to start a small series of videos that one of my new subscribers actually challenged me to, and it is 10 guns in 10 days. And it's basically you show off 10 guns in 10 days. Now, I'm going to be upfront and honest with you guys. I do not have the ability to upload or create a gun or a video once a day, every day, for 10 days straight. I just don't. I got school. I have to go work at the farm on the weekends. I go to my girlfriend's house every other weekend, and I'm not always around my camera or around the internet, and I just don't always have time. So I'm going to try and do this in as few days as possible, but it's not going to be 10 straight days. So I hope that's okay. But I figured, what better gun to start off this little 10 guns in 10 days challenge than the very first gun that I ever fired, other than a BB gun or an airsoft gun. This is the first real gun I ever fired, and it is my grandfather's Stevens 53D. This is a single shot bolt action 22. And gosh, I don't even know how old I was, like maybe 7, 8, somewhere around there. When I was in Cub Scouts, I was young, really young, and eager to go on adventures and go camping. And one of the things that we would do on like day camps and summer camps and stuff was we would shoot BB guns, and I loved shooting BB guns. I shot tin cans, and I actually, at the farm, I took my BB gun and I shot it across the lake at some geese, and I shot a bunch of snakes with BB guns. Of course, BB gun's not really a lethal gun, so I didn't kill anything, but that's what I was into at the time when I was really, really young. And of course I was safe, and I wore safety glasses and things like that. But, one time I was out at the farm, and my grandfather, he kept this gun in the back, or behind the back seat. Behind the seat, he only had one seat in his truck. It was a standard cab truck. But behind the seat of his truck, he had this rifle and he had a shotgun. And I guess he thought that I was old enough to try shooting a 22 rifle. So he brought out his 22 rifle, which was this one here. And he got out a couple rounds of birdshot. And we put out a soda can, and I shot, I don't know, at least 2 rounds, maybe 3 or 4 rounds a birdshot through this rifle. And this was my very first taste of real firearms. And as you can tell, if you follow my channel, I have lots and lots of guns, and it all really started with this gun. And my grandfather, of course, passed away about 4 years ago now. I can't believe it's been that long ago, but he passed away, and my uncle, he didn't really care to have any of the lesser expensive, more beat up guns. He only was interested in the Browning Auto 5 shotgun, and that was really the only gun he wanted. All the other, crappier guns, less valuable, he didn't want those. And so I took them all. And to me, this gun here, it's not worth a lot. I mean, look at it. It's beat up. I mean, check out that black paint, which is supposed to be like an ebony cap, fore-end cap or whatever. I mean, it's a really long barrel, by the way. This is a full-size rifle, but it's 22. And it's just not, it's not worth a whole lot. I mean, I've cleaned it up since I got it. It had a lot of rust on it, and I cleaned it up and all that. But I mean, honestly, this is worth like $50, although maybe worth more now because of everything going on. But let's say it's only worth $50 to somebody. That's like nothing. To me, it's priceless. I mean, this is the first gun I ever fired. It belonged to my grandfather. My grandfather, he was an interesting man, but he was a great man in my eyes anyway. He fought in the Korean War. Well, he didn't really fight in the Korean War, but he was in the military during the Korean War, in the Navy specifically. And he was part of the American Legion for, I don't know, 60 years, at least 50 years, but I think closer to 60 years after after the war. And he was big into the American Legion. And he just kept this rifle and sometimes a 12 gauge, sometimes a 410 behind his truck. And he had in the dash of his truck, there was like this little storage compartment where I guess where there's supposed to be like a more fancy air conditioning unit, because he had like the most basic of basic trucks that you could buy, from 1996. He just had this little storage compartment in the dash of his truck, and he had just a few random 410s and 12 gauges and 22s, whether they were 22 long rifles or 22 bird shots. And he just kept this gun, took it out to the farm. If there was ever a snake or a rabid animal, or just any kind of critter like a muskrat or something, he would just dispatch these animals with this rifle and with his shotgun as well. Snapping turtles, snakes, rabid skunks and rabid coons, and just anything that could cause a nuisance. He took care of it with these guns, and this was just one of those guns. So anyway, that is the Stevens 53D day 1 of the 10 guns in 10 days challenge. Again, it's not going to be 10 straight days. I'm hoping to get at least a couple more done this week, and then the rest hopefully next week, and possibly after that. I don't know. Life is kind of hectic, and I don't always have time to make videos. But anyway, here we go. So that's it for that video. Subscribe to my channel, like me on Facebook. I'm RedneckMini14, and until next time, be safe.